Very good morning, children. In the previous class, I started the lesson body movements. So in that, I explained you about the movement of body. Okay. So in today's class, let's understand how we are able to move different parts of our body, which organs are going to help us for the movement of the body. I'm going to explain in short. Okay. So we notice that we are able to move, bend or rotate our body in places where two parts of our body seem to be joined together. Okay, so you just notice that, so whichever part you want, you are allowed to bend. For example, you are bending, okay, you are turning, you are rotating some parts of your body. Okay, so this rotation or a bending of different parts of our body is possible only in some places where two parts of our body seem to be joined together. Okay, so two parts of our body seem to be joined together. In such place only we are able to bend or rotate. Okay, so those are, for example, elbow. Okay, so the elbow is present at your hand. Okay, so it's a middle point of your arm. Okay, upper arm and lower arm, right? So elbow, shoulder and neck, so these are the places where they seem to be joined together, okay, in two places. So these places we call them as joints. These places are called what? Joints. So in elbow, shoulder and neck, so there what are present? Joints are present. That's why we are able to bend it or rotate. Okay, so if our body has many more such joints, we have to think of, so do our body contains only few number of joints? Not, of course. So there are many number of joints which are present in our body. Okay, so that's why, so these all joints help us in different kinds of movements in our body parts, so that we are able to bend, rotate, etc. So what exactly is joined together at these joints? Then let us think. So what exactly is joined together at these joints parts? Okay, so for this, let us experience ourselves. Okay, dear students, you do it yourselves. Okay, take your fingers. Okay, press your fingers of any hand against top of your head. Touch your finger against the top of your head here and press at your face. Okay, at your neck here. Okay, at the back and nose here, you touch it and see. So press against it. Ear, okay, touch here, back of the ear. Okay, back of your shoulder here. Okay, so then hands, even the hands you touch. Okay, and even legs, including the fingers of your hands and toes of your leg. Okay, so what do you feel when you press against those parts with your fingers? So you get a feel of something which is hard. Okay, so that hard substance, that is something which is feeling hard, it is pressing against your fingers. When you press it, it is pressing you. Okay, something hard you feel. Okay, so these hard structures that we touch, they are what? They are the bones. Okay, so you can do it for the many other parts you can touch and feel. Okay, so these all hard structures, what they are called? They are called bones. Keep it in mind, bones cannot be bent. So the hardest substance in our body are bones. So bones are very hard, so they cannot be bent or rotated, right? So how do we bend our body then? So bones cannot be bent, we say, but how do we bend our different parts of our body present in our body? For example, the ankle or elbow, etc. How are we able to rotate them or bend them? So it is because there are some other things which are going to help the bones to move. For example, so the hard structures what we have in our body, they are bones. Okay, so the bones cannot bend. So how do we move? It is, if it is not the long bone. Okay, so how do our move our bone? So always we do not have the long bone in our arm. So our arm is made up of two small bones, that is upper arm to the joint up to the your elbow, from elbow to again forearm, one more bone. So our arm is completely not made up of continuous one bone. Okay, it is made up of two bone. It's not the long bone which is starting from the upper arm to up to your wrist. It's not the one continuous bone. It is joined together. So they are going to be joined at our what? there is a point that we call it as elbow. At elbow they join together. Okay, so there are many bones. In the similar manner, there are many bones which are joined together. Okay, so there are many bones which are present in our body, in different parts of our body. Okay, so we can bend them or move them only at those places where bones meet. Okay, we can bend or move only in such places where they meet each other. Okay, so there are different types of joints which are present in our body, so which are going to help us to carry out the different kinds of movements and activities. So different kinds of movements and activities are possible only because of the presence of different kinds of joints in our body. So there are many kinds of joints present in our body. So now I am going to explain about some of them. In that first one I will explain in the today's class, that is ball and socket joint. Okay, it's quite simple. Look at the figure 8.2. So making of ball and socket joint. Okay, so here I can show you the ball and socket joint with this diagram. It is same as you can prepare even with your hands, right? This one, simple. So take one roll a strip of paper and paste it around a cylindrical shape object. Any cylindrical shaped object you take made of metal, or even wood piece only, make it a shape of cylinder, and just attach a roll of strip on that cylindrical figure. Now make a small hole by taking an old rubber ball or a plastic ball. Take one rubber ball or a plastic ball, make a small hole in that, so that you can push that cylindrical shaped object into that small hole of the rubber ball or a plastic ball. Okay, so that you can push that paper cylinder, okay, into that plastic ball with the hole. Okay, so you can also stick that rubber ball with that cylindrical shaped object. Okay, you can insert, or you can just stick it with the help of any Fevikwik and all. Okay, so put this now ball with socket. Socket I can say, or that cylindrical shaped object. So put it in a bowl. Okay, put it in a small bowl. Now is the ball rotating freely inside that ball? So is the paper cylinder is also rotating around the ball? Yes, think of these questions. So now imagine that the paper cylinder is your arm. So the paper cylinder, what you have done now, which you have put inside the hole of the ball, plastic ball. So imagine that the paper cylinder is your arm. And what about that plastic ball? So think that, okay, the bowl is like your part of the shoulder to which your arm is joined. So what is the ball? So your arm is the ball and is at its end. Okay, so imagine that paper cylinder is your arm and the ball is its end. So your arm is paper cylinder and the plastic ball is its end, that arm's end. Okay, so imagine like that, cylinder end is your arm's end, but bone end. Okay, so the bowl is like the part of the shoulder to which the bowl, where you have kept this plastic ball with this paper cylinder now. So it is the part of the bone, okay, to which the shoulder to which it is attached to. Okay, so now the rounded end of the bone which fits into the cavity. Now this rounded end of the bone which fits into the cavity of the plastic ball, okay, in all directions. It helps to movement in all directions. Okay, such a joint which allows the movement of in all the directions is called as ball and socket joint. So this is called as what? Ball and socket joint. Okay, so dear students, I hope you have understood today's concept of the concept of joints and ball and socket joints. Try to draw this diagram well and try to understand the concept well. Thank you and have a nice day.